Have you hit a bit of a wall with your running? Physically, mentally, or maybe even both? Maybe your usual routine just isn't clicking anymore. Your progress has plateaued, your motivation has slipped, or your body's starting to send warning signals. Well, you're not alone. Every long-term runner hits these crossroads. It's not unusual. But here's the thing, when approached with awareness and intention, running can transform into one of life's most rewarding and sustainable habits. Not just a phase or a fitness trend, but a lifelong practice of self-care. In this video, we're diving into how to make running last, and not just for a season, but for a lifetime. With over 20 years of running experience and now in my 60s, I've faced my share of setbacks and plateaus, and I've learned a few valuable lessons along the way. So today I'd like to share some practical tips to help you navigate these tough patches and keep moving forward. We'll cover 3 essential mindset shifts to help keep you healthy, fit and motivated, so you can enjoy your running for decades to come. Hey, I'm Steve from Run My Way Australia. Welcome to the channel. Whether you're new to running, training for your very first marathon, or simply want to boost your health and fitness, I'm here with the tips, ideas, insights, and motivation to support your self-improvement goals through the power of running. So let's get into today's video. So let's start with one of the biggest killers of any sport or exercise, and that's burnout. Burnout doesn't always arrive with a dramatic crash. It often just sneaks up quietly. So one week you're enjoying your running, the next you're struggling to lace up and feeling mentally and physically drained. It's a common experience, especially for long-term runners who push hard with every run. Burnout happens when running shifts from being something you enjoy to do to being something more rigid and demanding. When we chase PRs relentlessly, ignore fatigue, or stick rigidly to plans. But running isn't meant to be a tiring burden. The key is learning to cycle your effort. Listen to your body, not your ego, and build in the rest and variety needed for the long run. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more is always better. More Ks, more workouts, more intensity. Social media and comparing yourself to others can amplify that pressure, making us feel like we're not doing enough unless we're constantly improving or pushing harder. But this kind of thinking just isn't sustainable long term, and it sets us up for burnout. Overtraining, persistent fatigue, nagging injuries, and even resentment towards running can creep in if we're not careful. Enthusiasm fades, rest days disappear, and we stop listening to our bodies. The warning signs: skipping rest, declining enthusiasm, or recurring injuries. If left unchecked, this approach can derail even the most committed runners from ever enjoying the sport long term. The real trick to longevity in running isn't constantly pushing harder. It's cycling your effort. You'll naturally train harder for events, but it's just as important to follow that with easier runs and periods focused purely on enjoyment, free from the pressure of performance metrics. Embrace natural rhythms in your running. Allow for off-seasons, schedule cutback weeks, and don't be afraid to swap a run for a hike, a bike ride, a swim, or simply a rest day. When you cycle your effort by design, you stay connected to what brings you joy and protects your body, maintains your motivation, and builds a running habit that supports you for life. Next, let's dive into motivation. Motivation is not fixed. It evolves as we do. What drove you in your 20s, like chasing PBs or ticking off new distances, might not light the same fire in you in your 40s, 50s and beyond. And that's perfectly normal. To keep running for life, we need to reconnect regularly with our why. Set fresh and exciting goals and be aware of when monotony creeps in. Running the same routes at the same pace over and over can dull your drive. The key is staying flexible and being willing to shake things up to keep your running life fresh, engaging and fun. In the early days, many of us start running for clear, measurable goals. Could be weight loss, or a race finish, or chasing a faster time. And those goals are fantastic to pursue and achieve, but once we've ticked those off, it's easy to feel directionless or kind of stuck. That's where motivation can stall. If your purpose stays the same while your life evolves, your running habit can lose its spark. The secret is recognizing when you've outgrown an old goal and begin to discover new ones, like running for lifelong fitness, age group achievements, a sense of freedom and vitality, or even connection with others. Motivation lasts when it grows with you. To keep your motivation strong over the years, try focusing on experience and not just performance. Set new types of goals that spark excitement, like exploring a scenic trail, planning a destination run on a holiday, or joining a running group for fun and connection. You can even track how you feel after each run instead of just the pace and the distance. Let running enhance your lifestyle, giving you strength, stamina, and vitality to keep doing the things you love well into your later years. When your motivation is rooted in curiosity, creativity, connection, and personal meaning, it becomes self-sustaining. The real magic of running reveals itself over the long haul, not just in the first month or even the first year, but through the years of consistent movement. The benefits compound with time, with stronger joints, better heart health, sharper focus, emotional resilience, and a deep sense of vitality. But there's a catch. Those lifelong rewards only come if your approach is sustainable. Running should enhance your life, not compete with it. That means running smart, listening to your body, and letting running support your overall well-being and not detract from it. Science continues to show that regular, moderate exercise, like running, is one of the most effective ways to support long-term physical and mental health. It boosts mood, sharpens cognitive function, strengthens the immune system, and even slows aspects of aging. When we push too hard, ignore injuries, or treat recovery as optional, we start to undo the very gains we're chasing. So it's not about constantly pushing your physical boundaries. That's just not sustainable. It's about running smarter. And that means nourishing your body with good food, prioritizing quality sleep, and giving rest the same respect as training itself. Balance is everything. When you run with a sustainable mindset, running starts to give back in powerful ways. It boosts your energy, supports your mental health, reduces stress, and helps you stay active in all areas of life, whether that's with hiking, biking, traveling, or simply keeping up with your family. It's not about high mileage or fast times. It's about building a foundation of vitality. I've been running for over 20 years, and now at 67 I can still do marathons, go on long hikes, and live with strength and flexibility. And that's the payoff, feeling good and loving the run year after year after year. So let's bring this all together. If you want running to be a habit that sticks for life, it's not about running harder all the time. It's about running with awareness. First, avoid the burnout trap by balancing effort with rest and tuning into the cues from your body. Second, keep your motivation strong by mixing things up, finding joy in the process, and allowing your why to evolve over time. And third, commit to a sustainable approach, one that supports your physical health, mental health, and overall lifestyle. When you make these three mindset shifts, running becomes more than a workout. It becomes a lifelong source of strength, vitality, and joy. Running for longevity should always come from a place of inspiration, motivation, and joy. When you pair big, exciting goals with periods of easier running simply for the pleasure of it, You create a sustainable cycle of self-esteem and self-improvement that can last a lifetime. For me, even at 67, I still love marathon training, the challenge, the achievement, and then shifting into non-racing seasons where I can enjoy the trails, holiday runs, and relaxed outings with friends. This rhythm keeps me engaged year after year, and I don't plan on stopping. The benefits to my health, fitness, and happiness keep me sustained. So over to you now. What's kept you running over the years? Or what's one change you'll make after watching this video? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear. And if this video inspired you, hit subscribe and come along for the run. I'd love to have you join me. Now before we wrap up today, let's take a look at where I'm running and what running shoes I am currently testing. Today's run took me along the beautiful Murray River at Mildura in Australia. Starting at the city riverfront parks and gardens, I followed the bush trails winding through the iconic Murray River landscape. With winter nearly over, bursts of colour from native flowers, especially the bright yellow wattle, signalled warmer days ahead. A truly enjoyable place to run. Today I'm testing the Li Ning Fadian Challenger 5. This is a versatile carbon-plated trainer that blends comfort, stability and responsiveness. With premium build quality, impressive performance and competitive pricing, it rivals established Western brands. It's a true all-rounder, and it proves Li Ning is a genuine global contender in performance running shoes. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching through to the end. I hope you found it helpful and inspiring. At Run My Way Australia, running is all about self-improvement, achieving your goals and finding joy in every step. So good luck with your running, stay consistent and most importantly, enjoy it. I'm grateful to be a part of your running journey and I'll see you in the next video.